I'm Real Genetic Demon, and this is What's on the Tape, Season 12, Volume 5. This is me back after being sick, and I'll explain in a minute once we get into the actual tapes itself. But first, we're going to have a look at these ones. These, again, provided by Mel LaBelle in the comments. This is, they're all, I think they're all C15s from the looks of them. They've got no branding on them. I kind of like the fact that they've got no branding on them, just plain grey sides. But we can see some titles here. We've got Enduro Racer. I thought I'd do some ones that I might quite enjoy this week. Enduro Racer. And on the other side, we've got 1942, which is a good shoot-'em-up, fantastic shoot-'em-up, both arcade conversions, followed by, I think this is Sab for Saboteur. I'm hoping that's what that is. So we've got Sab, or S-A-B, I can't think of anything else that could possibly be. Saboteur, and on the other side, another arcade conversion, which is our sort of a classic, sort of bat and ball breaking thing, Arkanoid. So we've got those two, he says, doing it one-handed today. I don't know why. I'm just spinning them around in the air. We've got these two to go for. This was Clive Townsend, isn't it, who's created that? He's done a remake using Spectrum graphics on the Switch and a number of other devices, and it's like an extended version of it. But in the meantime, there's a couple of things that have happened. So obviously I was off for a bit, but my lovely friend Daryl noticed that I mentioned during the last video, I think it was, that I was missing Ya Kung Fu in the original sort of big packaging. So he sent me a copy. Now, I'm going to flip it over because it's quite amusing, really. On the back of it, there ain't a single, look at that, there isn't a single ZX Spectrum screenshot there. I think we've got Commodore and all kinds on there, MSX, the whole lot, but not a single Spectrum one. That was a thing back in the day, wasn't it, where screenshots were taken from various computer formats, it says at the bottom, various computer formats, none of which Spectrum, and actually the Spectrum version is pretty good and looks okay, actually, so I guess they just thought they were going to put it on the back because it was kind of that kind of thing. So thank you very much for that, Daryl. That's absolutely fantastic. That's actually sat proudly placed looking at me now because it's a cracking game. It's a brilliant game. And the other thing I picked up recently as well, and I thought this was going to be by, and you're probably going to go with my logic here, Jonathan Caldwell. And Jonathan Caldwell is the chap who created the advanced game designer and a number of other things for the ZX Spectrum and lots of utilities. This isn't by him, funnily enough, and I'm going to show you in a second why. So I thought we'd play this one at the end of after we've done these two, because I've not seen this game before, and it's one that I'm going, well, it looks interesting. So there's some screenshots there, and it doesn't look like the Egghead we're thinking of. And I'll just open this up. I'll just show you what I mean. It's not Jonathan Caldwell. It's this guy called Thomas Liljetoff. Anyway, but so it's him instead. So I thought we could have a little look at that one, simply because it confused me as well. I mean, it's actually written in the top corner there. Look, there's his name. Oh, the top corner. So it's not who I thought it was. I don't think Jonathan Caldwell's games. They obviously available at Chronosoft nowadays, but I don't think they broke through back in the day, bar being sort of on computer magazines. But anyway, without further ado, let's get one of these into a tape drive. Right, the tape is in the drive and we're ready to go, so we'll go down to the old... Well, actually, I think we'll try the tape loader because it's actually... I was going to do the load it dip, but I'll try the tape loader because this looks like this is Enduro Racer first, so it might actually have the 128K version on it, which I think has music? I can't remember anyway. We'll give it a try anyhow. One of my I quite like this game because I used to play it in the arcades back in the day. And it came with a sort of a scrambler bike. I think that's the word to describe it, isn't it? You know, a sort of an off-road motorcycle. And basically, to jump over the logs, you had to pull back on these handlebars. And you would be able to jump higher and longer, if that makes sense. I think if you ran into them straight, it still jumped, but it didn't get that huge leap that you actually got with the whole thing. Anyway, well, we'll give it a go. So, quick explanation of what happened last week and why we didn't get an episode. The week before, if you heard me, I was snuffling and sneezing and I wasn't very well, I was coughing and whatever else it is. So I coughed so hard on the Sunday that I managed to pull the muscles in my neck, which hurt a lot, and every time I turned my head left or right, I had shooting pains that went up into my head and the skull and down my back, which was really nasty and really painful. I thought rest and heat and, ibuprofen would be enough, and I had that sort of the Monday and the Tuesday and the Wednesday with very little sleep at all. I just wasn't able to sleep. I couldn't move because every time I moved my head when I was sleeping, the shooting pains woke me up. So I got very little sleep for about 3 days solid. In the end, I called the doctor on the Wednesday. I said, "Doctor,
we're going to have to do something about this. What can we do? And he prescribed me some heavy-duty drugs. I mean, very heavy-duty drugs. So, yeah, okay, fair enough. I went and got this heavy-duty drug straight away, and I remember taking the first one on that Wednesday night and feeling my skin sort of tingle and become all sort of sensitive and things like that. And I thought, all right, fair enough. And I just didn't have the best of night's sleep. I managed to get 2 pills down in that whole sort of evening, sort of first early evening and once later on. Got 2 pills down, and it's an accumulative drug, so it's kind of built in your system so that you start to feel better, and it takes that muscle relaxant kind of thing, takes it away, and it accumulates. And I was feeling pretty bad, but I managed to get a little bit more than sleep than I did before. But the next day came and I took the first pill in the morning, ready to go for the day. Again, cumulative thing. And then I just started to fall asleep. And I just kept falling asleep all day, just on and off. All day. I literally couldn't sit for more than 2 minutes without my head sort of falling into my lap or me falling over with the whole thing. Thankfully, my neck was starting to feel better, and but I had 3 more pills that day, and I really kind of lost that whole day. That whole day disappeared in sleep, and weird sort of hallucinations and bad dreams, and it was really, really, really not pleasant. So I got to the Friday, and I got up to let the dog out, and I was going to take the next pill because I had 3 days worth. I was going to take the next pill, and I opened the door to the kitchen to let the dog out, and threw up in the sink, and I went, that's it, no more drugs. No matter how my neck feels, and it was still sensitive, but it wasn't, the pain of shooting pains that I had. I won't do that. But so basically, I spent the Friday sort of trying to sleep it off again, to sleep off the drugs that were in my system. The Saturday and the Sunday were just the same sort of thing. It's pretty much a write-off. So I was not in very good shape, to be honest with you. It was not a nice experience. Very bad sort of dreams, very bad hallucinations, lots of sleep, and it sounds like it would be great, but if you sleep and you're not comfortable, it's not nice, if that makes sense. So it was pretty rough. So I was kind of forced to. I literally could barely think, so I couldn't have recorded anything anyway. You wouldn't have got anything compass out of me, compass mentis out of me. It would have been all gibberish and rubbish, which is usually what you get anyway. But I think this would have been more than the usual. I mean, it was like listening to the Swedish chef in the Muppets. If you aren't Swedish, it just literally made no sense at all. So yeah, that's kind of the level we were at, so I had to cancel. But thankfully, I'm feeling an awful lot better. However, because I didn't finish the course of drugs, I didn't relax the muscles entirely. So I am still quite sensitive. I can turn my head, which is a massive bonus. I can actually move my head around now, but I'm still a little bit sensitive, and I'm a bit careful about what I'm doing. And occasionally, I get a twang, and I'm going. Ugh. So I've stayed away from anything that was painful or sort of difficult to do along the way. That was weird. That seems to have stopped. This is because I've done the 128k version. It's not the 128k version, isn't it? That's what it is. Hang on. Very quiet tape. That tells me there's nothing else on it. Give it. Well, that'll teach me to try and be clever. Let's restart this, and we'll see if we'll see if we can reset it. We'll see if we can do it in 48k mode. I'm sure there's a 128k version of this, actually, to be honest with you. I'm quite sure of it. I tell you what, I watched recently again, though, and I know you all love this, because I'm sure you've all watched this, and I absolutely love this movie. I watched Micromen again, the movie about Sir Clive Sinclair and Tim Curry, isn't it? Chris Curry. Tim Curry? Tim Curry's the actor in Rocky Horror Show, isn't he? No, Chris Curry and Sir Clive, and I watched that again recently because, well, obviously, and it popped up on my sort of timeline, and I watched it again, and it's just a cracking movie, isn't it? What a great drama that was. I know some of it was kind of made up, kind of whatever else it is, but my favourite part is the part where. There's lots of great parts in it, should I say. There's one of my favourite things that amused me most was the when Sir Clive becomes the sort of is it ambassador for, or the director of, and I can't remember what it exactly was, of Mensa. And those 3 young ladies come over to him, and there's all 3 of them, and they come over to him, and they talk about how they like his large brain and all this kind of stuff, and it's just nerdy enough that it's brilliant, you know what I mean? And it's really, really funny in this context. I mean, and just seeing that all 3 of them, Sir Clive Sinclair, really. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Oh, and to be fair, there's a scene with Chris Curry in the back of a Rolls Royce with draped in young ladies as well. It's just funny, isn't it? Thinking about that, because when we brought up with computers and all that. I know it's the money at the end of the day there, but we brought up with computers and we were the nerds. Nobody wanted to know nerds back then, or certainly I was anyway. It just amused me a lot. That really did. That was quite a funny bit. So, I forgot it was from Sega, actually. And Activision. Good old Activision. Activision. Do you remember when Activision pulled out of the United Kingdom and Europe? I think they pulled out of Europe as well. They pulled out, they stopped developing games. It was kind of like, I think it was not too far after they did some sort of later games in the early 80s or something similar. It's not early 80s, late 80s, early 90s. They just stopped publishing in the United Kingdom and whatever else. So they didn't really do that. They had that little bit of we'll move out of there and we'll go back to the United States and do work from there. Just a bit weird, wasn't it? I can't remember the full ins and outs of the story. I just remember it in my head. I may have completely misremembered it, but I certainly remember that Activision disappeared, and I was quite disappointed at the time because I quite liked Activision. I thought that Activision were quite a good developer until obviously we now know about all of their misdeeds that they have in the current sort of current climate. But yeah, I used to quite like Activision games, and to be fair, the one that really sticks in my head, and it's really weird that this is the one game that really sticks in my head that Activision made, because I've forgotten Activision had done this one. The one that really sticks in my head is Ghostbusters. I absolutely flipping love Activision's Ghostbusters. But I also love Ghostbusters, you see, so that's the kind of plus thing there. That's absolutely love Ghostbusters. I'm a little bit concerned about the new Ghostbusters. Is it called Ghostbusters Afterlife? A little bit concerned about how that's going to go. I'm a little bit concerned. What was formulaic about, I think, some of the 80s movies, especially things like Ghostbusters, which were a new intellectual property, as they call them nowadays, a new IP or whatever else it is. The thing about those was, it was Dan Aykroyd, wasn't it? Bill Murray and Harold Ramis, isn't it? Remus? I can't remember how you pronounce it. But anyway, but that little gang of people, and it was an adult comedy aimed at adults. And kids liked it because they didn't dumb it down. They didn't make it stupid, if that makes sense. They made it a comedy that was aimed at adults, but didn't dumb it down for kids, and it worked really well as a result of it. Nowadays, they feel the need to kind of dumb things down even further, when you can enjoy it on its base value if you pitch a movie correctly and I'm sorry, just say Star Wars there, but the original Star Wars, the trilogy ones, they were really good as well. They were absolutely fantastic as as movies. They were right, even though they were used, they worked right. Nobody tried to dumb it down, if that makes sense. I think that's the problem we've got nowadays. We're trying they're working to what might be the lowest common denominator, and the problem is the lowest common denominator is probably way less than those certain levels, or even less than the level they're pitching it at. So, but the new one, obviously, the Afterlife. I've seen the trailers. That's not worked. That's really bad. Let's get the old PlayZX at this, because it's got to be on there, and I'll absolutely love it. Unless I can see. Hang on, I'm gonna have a look at my hit squads. I'm gonna have a look at my hit squads and see if I can see it. Hang on. I'm looking along the shelf. It must be there. Yeah, found it. Now I just need to get it off the blooming shelf. They're quite tightly packed, you see. There we go. Come on. Don't drop the shelf on myself. Don't drop the shelf on yourself. There we go. We got it. Right, okay. Is it a 48k game? Does it say 48k? 128k. Let's see. Rewind. Is that rewound? We'll give this a try. I've got the Hit Squad version off the shelf. So because it got re-released as a Hit Squad. Can I work out what I've got to do? Load dit. We'll do load dit apparently. Right, okay, so, I'm a little concerned because they've redone Afterlife, they've stuck the kids in it, and I don't... Oh, Are kids dragging parents to the movies nowadays? Is that what this is why we have to add the children to the whole thing? I don't know. I mean, is that the driver for these things that you only get them going to the movies to do that? You see, I think Disney got a bit of a shock because is it Disney who owns it now? I'm trying to work that out actually. Does Disney own Ghostbusters? The thing for that one? I'm not sure. I don't know who did Ghostbusters. They might do. But whoever owns it, and I think this is where I'm going with where Disney got a shock here. Disney Plus, their streaming thing, celebrated. Everybody will want Disney Plus. Everybody will want Disney Plus. Everybody will be watching, every Disney movie under the sun. And I'll admit there will be people out there who love the Disney movies and the princess movies and all that rubbish that they do, which is churning out the same crap over and over again. But I think they got a bit of a shock with their streaming service. They put it out quite cheaply, which was really good. I think when you first bought it was like 40 quid for a year. I certainly remember getting 40 quid a year, and I did buy it. Yeah, I did, because I wanted the Star Wars elements of it. I wanted Mandalorian and whatever else it is. But I think they found that only what happened is people watched Mandalorian and maybe occasional things, but then just switched off and didn't watch their streaming service. It wasn't until last year, or this year I think it was, they added the Star Network, which I think is effectively the Fox element that they bought, and then they increased the age things on it to 18, and they put a little warning on there, and whatever else. And I think at that stage, you see a different loader here, and there's a bit of corruption at the top corner of the screen, so if this works, it'll be a surprise. I think that they then discovered that people were watching it. Because I don't think we were watching... There's only so much Disney you can take, I think. There's only so much that you can be force-fed that's there. I don't think that I watch on that particular streaming service. I don't think, and I think if I ask my family as well, what they watch, they might watch the occasional big blockbuster that happened, but are you repeatedly rewatching, say, Iron Man or The Avengers, or repeatedly rewatching I don't know, The Little Mermaid, or the latest versions of whatever movie they've got? The other movies they've got, the older movies. I don't think they am, and we are. I don't think we're even looking through it. And we're more likely to watch the National Geographic channel they've got on there and the Star Network. I think that they have more contemporary, more interesting stories than we've got. So this is my theory. I think that they got a bit of a shock with that, and I think that I'm hoping that will make a change to companies like Disney. I mean, it's a huge organisation. It'll take a while for it to feed through in the end of the day, but I do think that's going to make a change to the way that they actually program television. Or I hope it does. It's certainly something on my mind. But Ghostbusters again. This is where I'm going to with this afterlife thing. They've added the child element of it. Grandchildren of the original Ghostbusters. That's kind of who they are, I think, or at least one of them is. I've seen some of the trailers. I don't really want to spoil it too much because I would like it to be good, but at the same time I'm a little concerned. But it's an interesting one. They're doing that because going denominator-wise, is this going to bring children to watch Ghostbusters? I don't think you couldn't have put children in front of original Ghostbusters and them not enjoy it. So why do we have to reduce the age thing? Is this if they can play the game when they go and when they get the action figures? I don't know, and I don't think it matters. Anyway, I must be I think I'm getting old. I remember when we used to get a story and a movie was between an hour and a half and 2 hours long, and a 2 hour long movie would build the characters so that we actually had some investment in them before we actually blew them up, and then we didn't care in the new modern day movies, because that's really what happens in a lot of modern day movies. I'm trying to think of a good modern day movie. I mean, I did enjoy Free Guy, but that's because it had a lot of modern day gaming references in it. I did like that. But the thing is, it was Ryan Reynolds playing Ryan Reynolds. He's one of them actors, isn't he? It's like Ryan Reynolds plays Ryan Reynolds in every movie. I mean, quite literally every movie. There are a few exceptions to that. There's one called Safe House where he doesn't really play Ryan Reynolds. He plays a more straight-laced guy, and it doesn't work as well because he's not playing Ryan Reynolds. so I don't know. It's strange, but true. Has that crashed? Blooming crashed, hasn't it? It's blooming crap. We're having a great time here. I can't believe we've spent so long. I'm seriously. We're going on the other side tape. I'm just driving you nuts here by getting to this. I really want to play this one though. I do. I really do. I really want to play Enduro Racer now. Now that we've got to here, I'm really doing it. But yeah, Ryan Reynolds plays Ryan Reynolds. It's like Michael Caine plays Michael Caine, doesn't he? It's like what character are you going to play in the movie? Michael Caine. That's exactly it. So. Does Sean Connery play Sean Connery, or does Sean Connery play Sean Connery as Bond? Is that what he used to play? It's kind of that way, isn't it? There's a few actors that just play themselves. Ray Winston's another one. Ray Winston plays Ray Winston. Wasn't he in the latest Black Widow movie, which is pants, by the way. That's on Disney Plus as well. You can avoid that one by a million miles. 3 guys on there. That's worth watching. But yeah, Black Widow's just there. But I'm sure it has I'm sure it has Ray Winston in it playing Russian, but as Ray Winston. So it's. I think he tries a Russian accent. It's hilarious. It really is. It's just a pointless exercise, realistically. Ray Winston plays Ray Winston as usual. So quite a lot of them. Come on, put some in the comments below. Actors that play themselves, quite literally. They go in a movie and they don't play whatever characters, they just play themselves. That's what we need. Some in the comments below. Yeah, but Micromen, that's a great drama. That was really well done. That was a good piece. I quite liked that one. I wonder how. I know they watched it, didn't they? They watched it. Chris Curry and some of the people who were depicted within that movie. Or drama movie stroke thing from the BBC actually watched it, didn't they, on YouTube? Kind of watched it back, and they kind of said some of it was right and some of it was wrong, and some of it was very dramatised. But I think they quite enjoyed it, really, if I remember rightly, from what I remember for the whole thing. Anyway, I've got coffee. What have you got? Have you got a beverage? Got a beverage. Got coffee. Here we go. Oh, I have missed you, my friend. Yes, I missed my coffee. I missed that. To be fair, I do like a little sip, and that's what I was drinking the other week when I was doing it. But I was kind of, yeah, I missed my coffee for that episode. I do like coffee as well, so a lot. I like coffee a lot. You probably know that. Anyhow, sorry it's taking so long to load the first game. Do you know what? I think I'm so in the mood for what's on the tape. I was so in the mood for a bit. I did the truck driving videos as well, and I did my bus ones. I was so in the mood for it because basically I've had that week off. The only thing I did was I recorded very early in the weekend, which is why I put it in before my neck got too bad. Was the video of the adventures of the amazing adventures of Mr. Flea, which has got the graphics by The Apprentice in it. If you've not seen the arcade challenge for that. That is an arcade game that you kind of... I can imagine that appearing. If you've seen it, the graphics are very amateurish. It has mini-games that are based on things like Frogger and Donkey Kong, but like really badly implemented versions of them. And other strange games like jumping over holes as you go up a cliff or run up an embankment. It sounds terrible, doesn't it? Running up an embankment, jumping over holes. Yeah, running up an embankment, jumping over holes as a flea with a top hat on, and jumping from dog's tails to dog's tails to get to the top of the level. It is, without a doubt. I mean, if you'd seen that in the arcade, I bet that made no money at all. That can't honestly have made any money. I mean, these things are really expensive. At the time, that you either used to buy them or you used to rent them from somebody else, didn't you, to put them to your arcade? Can you imagine renting that to put in your arcade? Because obviously you took a percentage, and that's how the rent worked. So you rented it, and you either took all the coins from it, or the kind of rental prices and all this kind of stuff. You take a percentage of the whole thing. Imagine that. I can't imagine anything worse, really. You go in the arcade and you got Space Invaders one side. I mean, I don't remember the date of this thing, and actual Frogger the other side of it, and then you've got the Amazing Invaders. Do you know what? You probably play it as a novelty. You literally go, I'm going to put a coin in here to find out what happens, and you'll be going, oh my god, that's just so bad. Do you know something? That's where it got its money from. Everyone went, oh my god, that's so bad. And you said to your mates, you just tried that Amazing Mr. Flea. It's absolutely awful. The graphics are terrible. It's got clones of this, blah blah blah. And they all went, no, we'll have to go down and try it. And that's probably where they made the money from. But it must have been the novelty must have worn off because, 100 people went on it first time round in the arcade, and that was it. You know, there was 100 quid in there of 10p's or something like that. Must have been the whole lot along the way. We're almost there. Yay! Enduro Racer finally. Presents by Activision presents Giga Games graphics by Focus. Oh, look at these, taking the names out of the people that are there. Right, okay, define the controls. Space to execute any other key to advance. Right. Space. Wheelie, QA. Wheelie is A. What's a weird button for A? I think I'd rather that was... I would rather that was... The wheelie was space. I can't put space in there. Let's put Z in there for the moment. Oh. Right. And that one's that one. Oh. H. Right, wheelie. Space. Right, okay. So any key, Q8, that looks better for me. That works. Space. Right, start the game. Okay. So it's basically a biking game. It's like an off-road biking game. So there's me in the middle, swinging around. It's a bit wild. It's got that amazing frame rate from the 80s. Look at that. Frame rate is amazing. Was it like 2 or 3 frames a second? Oh, let's got a bit of music. We got a bit of music. Wheelie. I didn't hit the wheelie fast enough. So a minute. Got to pull a wheelie. And you pull a wheelie when you hit one of those, and it does a massive jump instead. Gonna hope we get one over the top of this barrier. There we go. Massive wheelie. Actually, I rather like this game. It's just simple. Do you know what it reminds me of, though? It's like somebody just reskinned... I don't know which one came first. It's like somebody reskinned Hang On, Super Hang On. It looks very similar. The top is very similar to that. Also, it's very similar to Outrun. I don't think I've ever noticed that before, but I think that they are. I think that somebody's just reskinned the two of them. I actually quite like this. I was quite obsessed by this because obviously I played the arcade version, and you had to pull a wheelie. You'd have to pull back on the handlebars. It was amazing. It's just a fantastic way of driving a game, So. And then trying to get to the end of it before all the other things. Now, Enduro Racer is one of the interesting games that obviously had various formats or versions of it created for various systems. But the most interesting of the lot, or the most interesting version of this is the Master System version. The Master System version is an isometric view. It's kind of weird. It's not what you expect. It doesn't look like this Enduro Racer, which is like more like the arcade. Obviously, the arcade's faster and more impressive, but it is actually very playable. I do like it. But apparently the PAL version of Enduro Racer on the Master System is actually significantly cut down in comparison to the Japanese version, who had extra levels. Isn't that strange? Why would you? I guess I think the Japanese thought that we weren't very technically capable when it came to gaming. I think that's what it was. I think that was a cultural choice. They thought we couldn't handle more than so many levels. But yeah, there is most definitely different levels on the Japanese version of it. I only discovered that after I did a bit of research on Enduro Racer when I was playing the Master System version. It's on my channel, by the way, if you want to have a little look at it. So it's well worth having a look at. I really enjoyed it, to be honest. Definitely enjoyed it. It's kind of universally disliked, the Master System version on PAL, but I quite liked it. I did like it. I think it's fun. I went through him there. Oh, I think I made it to the next level. Yes! It was worth it. It was worth the load, guys. Oh, except for me bashing the bike into there. It was definitely worth the load. It was worth waiting for. I know it took ages, but we got there in the end. We got to some Enduro Racer action. Oh, God. I hit them badly. Wasn't pulling a wheelie when I hit them. There we are now. Oh, God. There we go. Oh! Oh, God. Those rocks are really bad when he gets through them, aren't they? They're horrible. Really really bad. Sorry about the noise in the background. My little lad is destroying my television in the back room. I'm gonna have to go have a word with him because he can't be doing that. So we're gonna pause this in a second if he can stop it. Because I don't want that broken. I've got a little CRT TV in the back room, and he's decided that he's gonna push buttons on it for some reason. Hang on a second, you just stay there while I go have a little look. We'll have a quick word. Okay. No, hang on. Don't worry about the television there. Open it, please. Thank you. Right. Thank you. Good boy. Lovely. We'll leave that alone. Thank you. I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah. Anyway, we've just the telly. I would. Oh God, I've pushed the wrong button. I've reversed. There we go. Let's put. Oh, we can only scroll left and right. Okay. Oh, can we go up and down? Oh, up and down is actually the space bar. That's really confusing. Let's get me name in. There we go. And end. There we go. Demon is in the record books. That was actually quite good. I quite enjoyed that one, to be honest with you. I quite nice to get it finally loaded after 4 attempts, not just 4. Just the 4. We've been there before, haven't we? We've spent episodes of loading sometimes. I remember, was that an episode where I spent like 40 minutes trying to upload a blooming tape? Yeah, there was, wasn't there? There was one that was 40 minutes long. Right, I'm flipping this over. What we got on the other side? What we got on the other side? 1942 apparently, so let's get 1942 on. This is one of these arcade games, or a conversion of an arcade game, that really struck me. That it was a vertical scroller, sort of. I think it's one of the first that I probably played of this type. I may be wrong there, but it just on the spectrum. It was one that I was very 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 impressed by. I thought it was a fantastic game. I think we're rewound. Yeah, we are. We're rewound and we're ready to go. So I always thought it was a very impressive game, to be honest with you, on the spectrum. I kind of liked the feel of this one. So it was just a good shooter. Even if you can't see the bullets, because it's all monochrome as usual and all that kind of stuff. Do you know what we could have done with? Couldn't we? We could have done with a different colour bullet on the screen and just gone with the flow. That it would have been off kind of colour, because at least you'd know that was coming then, wouldn't you? That whole block was coming at you if it was a different colour. So if the screen's blue or something like that, the bullets come at you in green or something similar, and you would be able to see that coming at you. That was probably one of the big problems with monochrome in the sense of sometimes you just got caught out by bullets that just didn't expect coming at you, if that makes sense. So well, I'm hoping this one loads. We haven't got any problems with it, so touch wood. I gave the tape drive a nice, lovely clean as well, courtesy of my friend Darryl again. He supplied me a nice tape cleaning kit a while back. I still use it to this day, and it's really good. I actually have a few tape cleaning kits at this point. And to be fair, he supplied one that allows me to align the old is it the ultimate version of it, the ultimate play the game version of it, which came it was not ultimate. One came with Joe Blade. I think it came with Joe Blade, which allows you to align the azimuth. The fabled dragon of the ZX Spectrum, which is effectively the way that you adjust the magnetic head on your Spectrum, that sort of tilts it up and down so that it gets a better sort of connection to the tape or the data that's going along the tape. My wife and daughter watched Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, actually. Yeah, well, I say Star Wars, that could be anything, couldn't it, really? They watched The Empire Strikes Back yesterday on that little portable telly that my son was just mucking around with. I think he was just putting the cable away, by the way, to be so honest with you. So we'll let him off. But But they watched what Star Wars on that telly the other day, and my daughter was like, "It's got a lot of lines on it," and I'm like, "Yeah, well, it's tape. They do get worn. They're a physically moving device. It's not, any magnetic media can become demagnetized, and it does just using it is going to make it worse, unfortunately, and that's life, isn't it? But the tape she was playing, it was the special editions from probably about 1990 when they re-released them, when George Lucas made those first initial sort of edits of the whole thing, made some alterations to the way it ran and the way it looked. So there were those edits. So for instance, when they were in Cloud City, they had holes in windows and all this kind of stuff. And I don't mind that. I don't disapprove. I'll disapprove of those additions. They were good. They were fine. Making Han Solo not shoot first with Greedo was just a mistake. That was just ridiculous. Greedo must have been the worst bounty hunter in the world if he couldn't hit that range. Oh my god. Quite literally, he's the worst, absolutely the worst bounty hunter in the world. Greedo must have... he must be the joke. It's like, Jabba was like sending him out. The fact that he even got close to Han Solo would have been hilarious in the first place. But, yeah, no, terrible Greedo. But yeah, shooting first was a load of rubbish. It made more sense that when Greedo got shot that he discharged his weapon in a funny direction, instead of literally missing Han Solo sitting opposite him. Yeah, we don't believe that one for a second. So, but anyway, yeah, they watched that, and the tape was quite worn. But do you know what? I still blooming loved it. They still blooming loved it. They know they loved it. And the thing about it, there's something magical about that experience. It's kind of like, I guess it's like going to the pictures, but now it's all digital, isn't it, as well? So it isn't even the old film going through the whole thing. There's something magical about the old, like loading a tape. There's something magical about the experience. It's that there's a combination of patience and hoping that it loads and with watching a video like that, and it gets a bit grainy all of a sudden, and then it's like, and it's grainy to begin with anyway because VHS. So and then it gets a bit grainier, a sort of a flicker goes across because there's something on the tape that was, because it's been left sitting funny. It's just great. It is. It's lovely. It's a nice experience. It's a nice mechanical experience. They miss out on that nowadays as kids, I think. They miss out on the fact that it isn't instant and always on kind of thing. However, saying that, have you ever tried sitting in a lobby for a multiplayer game in modern day games when it's something that nobody else plays? Yeah, absolutely. They can take ages and ages and ages. Right, quick coffee. We'll have a sup of that, and then we'll set up these. I'm sure I know what the keys are actually for this, because keyboard already. There's 0 keyboard. Oh, there we go. You can choose that. Hang on. Oh, coffee's good. Right. Q A O P M. Because I know space is to do a roll, because that was your kind of get out maneuver. So we'll do that. Last 32 stages. 32 stages. 32 stages. Wow, got that. Got this plays. Plays really well, this one. 1942. Very much. If we shoot all these red ones, we'll get an extra. We'll get a pow for my thing. A power up. Look at that. More firepower. Look at that, though. What a great little arcade game that is. I think the simplicity of this one is how quiet the screen is. It works well because we haven't got an awful shit. We haven't got a lot of ground going on, so because you're flying over water, so you can see the bullets a little easier. I was saying about before, it would be nice if you could see the bullets, but sure. But you can see it. You can see them on this one. It's quite easy to see them. I think it is space to do a loop. Was it space? Or do I have to press fire and down, or fire and 2 buttons? Oh, I can't work out how to do a loop. There's a loop button. No, get that red one. Want that. Want the firepower. Yeah, it does. It plays really well, this one. It's a lovely little shooter. I've got the arcade version of it somewhere. I've got the full version of it somewhere. There we go. It's shooting at me. Got it. Yeah. Oh, damn. I thought it was space to do the roll. I can't remember what to do the roll is. I think this is my landing place. We get land on here. I was looking at, for the 20p arcade challenge this week, I've put down for my spin on the wheel, because we get this random wheel, so we do a random spin. So everybody who enters gets a chance to have a game played, so it goes on a random wheel, which I think is a really nice way of doing it, actually. I mean, we used to do it on the winners, but we basically, if you don't have the time to practice all week long, or you're not that good at games, it means it's a little unfair, because you'll never get a chance to have your spin. So we do it based on, or your game, should I say. So we do it based on, sort of, if you enter, you get a chance to be on the wheel of sort of spinning wheel of damn, nearly outrun that. Spinning wheel sort of a random selection, so it means your game could come up even if you aren't very good at the arcade challenge, which is fine, because I'm not very good at my own. Sort of, I was involved in the creation with another chap and of the arcade challenge, and I'm not very good at it, to be honest with you. I keep on failing to do it. I've won a couple, but out of like 100 and something odd games that we've played, 190 odd games we've played, I've won about 3. So it's quite nice, because it means we get a randomisation, something that we wouldn't normally do, that for people who would like to have a little go with getting a chance to sort of get their game through. So we've had some really weird ones, like the Amazing Mr. Flea. But I've put down this week 1941 Counter Attack, which is kind of a number ones, because it's like 1942, 1943, 44, and then there's another version, I can't remember what it is, Loop Master, and then there's the Counter Strike, which is like a little more space-aged and a little less sort of realistic. Not that any of them are realistically, but a little bit more space-aged, a little bit more different. And I put this Counter-Strike one, Counter-Attack down. Quite looking forward to it, actually. I hope it comes up, because it's a nice version of it. Had got down Lunar Rescue a couple of times from Taito, but it hasn't come up yet. But Lunar Rescue is a cracking sort of spin-off of Space Invaders from the early days, and it's a really, really nice looking game and great fun to play. So I was kind of looking. Yeah, I was looking at that one for doing the whole thing. So Saboteur, I like Saboteur and Saboteur 2 as well. I like Saboteur because you have a mission. The mission is to, several missions actually. You're a ninja assassin, a saboteur, and your job is to collect this floppy disk, because floppy disks destroy the world, that could possibly destroy the world from terrorists. You have to either collect the floppy disk and escape with the floppy disk only. You either have to collect the floppy disk and then set a bomb to blow the place up. Or I think that, is there another option? There's something else you can do as well. You can just escape. That's it. You can just escape. So it's kind of weird that you can just escape as well from the whole thing. But basically, you enter the building via a specific route in this one. In Saboteur 2, you get to hang glide in and sort of drop off at a certain point to do the whole thing, and it's also for a game of its age. And Clive, kudos to Clive here. In the second Saboteur, it's female assassin, killer, whatever else it is. I'm not sure it isn't in the first one. No, I don't think it is in the first one, but the second one definitely is, and I think like that. I like the fact that they went to a main female character, a very strong female character who's basically kicking and punching and killing their way through the entire level. Very nice, well done, Clive. But Saboteur itself is just a classic. I have actually finished it on my channel. I think I just did it to the helicopter though, and it was the Amstrad version I finished, even though I've played the Spectrum one many times before. And I have finished the Spectrum version back in the day. I used to have the maps, because the maps were always really useful. The only thing about it is the replay value is reduced in the sense that, you can obviously change the difficulty a little bit, but replay value is reduced a little bit because you're doing the same thing over and over again. But because it was so phenomenally good, the sprites were so large and whatever else, you quite frequently went back to it. I certainly did anyway. I certainly went back to it in the day. I've got the original boxed versions here somewhere. They're from Durell, and it's interesting to know that. I think Durell still exists as well, but they don't make Spectrum games anymore, which is a shame. There's lots of money to be made in games and production and all this kind of stuff, but Durell still exists. I'm quite convinced of it. So they I don't know why they disappeared to. I mean, to be fair though, what an influential company Durell was at the end of the day. They also with the Turbo Esprit, which is a free roaming police Lotus Esprit simulator. That was a really big influencing factor for the people at Rockstar who created Grand Theft Auto. The original first Grand Theft Auto, which was top down, was heavily inspired by Turbo Esprit. Saboteur is, I don't know if it's the blueprint for a lot of things, but it's certainly it was certainly different for a Spectrum because of the fact that you had such large characters and a story and a thing that went with it. It's quite clever. It's really quite impressive. It was one of those games that I remember having and being mightily impressed by and really enjoying and playing over and over and over again. I remember buying I don't know which magazine it was. It would probably be either Sinclair User or Your Sinclair, and getting that map that went with it was just phenomenal. And that's just crashed. It bum. Right. Let's fast forward that, and we'll get the PlayZX on for this one, I think, because we can't miss out on this one. Don't think I can find the copy of Durell knocking around here. It's not Durell. Copy of Saboteur on the wall. So it's somewhere miles away. Let's fast forward that, and let's get the PlayZX on. Assuming it's on there, because it might not be actually, because I know that Clive obviously still owns the copyright for it all. It might not be on there. I know it's on the Switch. I keep meaning it's like one of those things I keep meaning to do. I keep meaning to try the Switch version of it. I just haven't got round to it. I got sent a review code with an embargo the other day for the Switch. It sometimes happens. I get review stuff through, but this time round, they obviously were quite keen for people to review it because they literally sent me the code. Normally, I have to ask for a code for a Switch game if I want to review it. This time round, they just literally went, "Here's the review code. Don't say anything to anybody," which is very nice of them. So I can only say that I'm looking at something, and that's about it. Saboteur Durell. There's the one. There we go. Pop that up there, and let's go for it. This should work nicely because it's off the PlayZX. Sabot 1.1. Alright, whatever that means. Is there a different version? I have no idea. So we've got the other side of obviously this tape to do. We've got on the back of there we have Arachnoid, which is obviously an arcade conversion. I like Arachnoid, but I always thought Batty was better. I don't know about you, but Batty was the Elite version, wasn't it? It was by Elite, and I always thought Batty was better. And then we have. Did they release that as a cover tape first and then put it out as an actual official game? I can never work it out because I always had it as the cover tape version, and I really like the cover tape version. Obviously, it was one of the top played sort of games in my Spectrum. I always quite like Batty, and then obviously there's Arachnoid, which is the arcade version. There's an interesting remake of Arachnoid on the DS, Nintendo DS. Which basically uses the screen to move around left and right, and obviously uses double screens. Oh, tickle in the throat there. Sorry about that. I'll drink the remainder of the coffee and we'll try and get rid of that. Yeah, I use the remainder of the two screens to sort of shuffle left and right. I think there's a sort of version of it for the Switch. Yeah, I think there is, but you have to pull it out. You can't do it on the main screen. You have to do it on the touch screen on the Switch as well. So there's the version of the Switch as well. But I don't even know how I got to that, but because it's on the tape, next thing on the tape. Sorry. And then we've got this egghead, which isn't egghead that everybody thinks it's egghead. It's a different egghead, completely different egghead. Really weird that it's just completely different egghead. I looked at it and I went, oh, is that egghead? Because I do collect the silver birds with the black and pink, and I haven't got most of them. And I thought I'll pick this one because I'd seen it. It was the first time I'd seen it, or it's the first time I'd ever seen this particular one. So I thought I'll pick up this egghead, and I thought, oh, it's going to be the well, it's not in a bad way. I thought it was going to be the Jonathan Caldwell one, which is Jonathan Caldwell's first egghead. Really was more like Manic Miner than anything else, but not quite the same as Manic Miner, if you know what I mean. It was a different styling, if that makes sense. I was going to say not as competent, but it is. It was an extremely competent piece of programming. It was a different styling. And I remember it coming on a cover tape, and I don't remember it coming on anything else. And I know it's released now physically via Chronosoft, but I don't remember it being released any other way earlier in the day. I might be completely wrong, but I don't remember it. But so I thought that's who I was getting with this when I bought this egghead one. But I looked at the back of the cover from the website was on. This is from... Well, I can't remember who this is from, actually. I was going to say the Retro Cavern, but I don't think it is the Retro Cavern. But I looked at the back cover sort of inlay pictures that were there and realised it was a completely different game. So I'm quite excited to play this one. I'm quite excited to see what this one's like in the long run. It might be quite fun to give it a blast, if that makes sense, and see what it is. It looks a bit weird. I can't read the story because my eyesight's so terrible. I won't be able to see it without getting a magnifying glass. As he looks desperately for a magnifying glass. I found one. Tells you that I'm old because there's a magnifying glass right next to the blooming desk. Anyway, let's have a little look. What's the story here? Let's see what the story is while Clive's loading. Your task is simple. Help Egghead in his bid to hatch. Since his mother has not been around to sit on him and keep him warm, as per an egg's duty, it has been done artificially with infrared heater. Unfortunately, he has lost all the parts and they must be found in Egghead's world. There are 14 of them, teleporters. There are 14 of them, each with a name that you can type in with a destination. Oh, interesting. Swappers, charges, and frozen. So basically, we're looking for the infrared heater so that Egghead can hatch because his mum's left him. That's not very nice. It's probably been turned to Christmas dinner or something like that. It's probably a turkey. What do you think? Is it a turkey? Ducky. There's a ducky. Something like that. Yeah. So, nothing to do with whatever I thought it was. Definitely not the same writer. Unless Jonathan Caldwell was writing under a pseudonym. I don't know why he'd write under a pseudonym back in the day. But anyway. Here we are. Always that same music. Love it. Right, let's redefine them keys. Fire. Up. Down. Left. Right. The keys of a professional. K for keyboard. S to start the mission. Skill level. Ah, yeah, there was difference. Extremely easy. That's me. I think it's just more items, basically. It's extremely easy. So here we are in our little boat. We get thrown out. Your health goes up over time. So the bottom there. We've got a shuriken. If I push up, I attack. That's where I throw my shuriken. I'll avoid the dog. Dogs are bad. Pick up that brick. There's a camera that follows you. See it top of the screen. Yeah. Everybody jumps off them stairs. Right. Okay, let's get in the next room. I think the next room is where we need to be. Oh, camera shooting at me. No, it's not that one. It's the next one. Leave me alone. There we go. Down here. See if I can remember the ins and outs of the game. Yeah, it's... I've got him. Karate chopped him. It's not that one. Going wrong way here. Is it this one we go down? One of them goes right down to a pool of water and another one doesn't. This one goes to the there. There's the one that goes to the water. You see over there. Right, let's pick up the brick. We've got a little timer running at the bottom as well. This takes us to our first tram. which takes us across, which is kind of cool. Isn't that cool, though? What a cool level design this is. Like how big the sprites are and how well it plays. It's brilliant. There's my pay at the bottom of the screen. Take a brick. I smacked him with a brick. That knocked him out. There we go. Down we go. And now we need to get the second tram, which gives us the chance to get to... oh, was it a knife? Let's take the knife. They're just like lying around. I like you do. There's another tram, I think. It'll be down here. Takes us to the next area. Oh, there's a vault. I'm not sure what's in the vault. Can't remember the full ins and outs of the story, but I know that there's certainly different ways to do missions. Hey, I'll take a bit of that. If this is on hard, by the way, it would be absolutely stuffed by now. So now we need to go into this train. This is train 2, takes us to on the way to the... lots of hidden stuff within it. This takes us on our way to what I was saying before, the disc. Let's see if I can remember the ins and outs of it. Got ya! Right, I should be able to get up this level here, and then we get to the disc. I don't know how you kill the dogs. Can't remember what you do to get the dogs. Get down. Stay down. Look at the size of that sprite. It's just brilliant, isn't it? I can't remember what we've done with the button there. Here we go. So the disc is at the end of this thing. We go all the way here. Is it? Yeah, I've got the disc. There it is. There's the disc. Now I've got the world defeating disc. Let's see if we can actually finish this. This would be cool if we can finish it. Can you imagine if I finish this? I don't think it'll ever happen on Watson tape that I finished the game. Step forward. Down. I've got loads of money. Look how much money I've made. Right, train time. Get on this train. Need to stand still for a bit because you see my energy's going low. And then we've got to get all the way to the top of the roof. I'm going to stand still for a bit, get my energy up. We've got to go all the way to the roof and get out via helicopter. I think I came down this ladder. Yes, I did. And then we came this way. Oh, no, I didn't. Idiot. Up this way. This way. Up this ladder. Let's see if I can make it. Right, all the way across here. Avoid that gun spitting thing. Next one. Oh, we're doing alright. We're going to get paid $8,100 for this. I think it's pretty good money for 15 minutes work. Get my energy go up a bit. Right. Up here. Goes nowhere. Damn. Up here. Up here. Goes nowhere. Up to the roof. To the roof! Wherever the roof is. Take that. I'm going up. Up, up, up. Where's the helicopter? Keep going up. The helicopter's on the roof. Oh, God. It's getting close. Up. I'm keeping on going up. Look, I'm still going up. I know it's upwards. Where's the helicopter? Oh, nearly fell off. Oh, where's the helicopter? Where's the helicopter? Come on. Come on, helicopter. Come on, come on. Oh, God. The computer room. Get down, stay down. Shit. Oh. Ah. Okay, okay. I think we're alright. Oh, no, it's not here. That's not the room. Oh, no. I'm on the wrong side of the building. I think. Hang on, hang on, hang on. So, what if we go this way? Uh-oh. I don't know where I'm going. I'm lost. It's been a while. Oh, sugar. Let's go over that way. Oh, sugar. I've got the disc. I'm so close to getting out the exit here. This is the thing. Right, we'll drop off there. And if I... Nope, that's not making it. Looks like there's a ladder. It looks like there's a way up there. Damn you. Ah! Made it so far and then lost it. I might be going completely the wrong way. If you're all shouting at the screen that I'm going the wrong way, I really do apologise. Damn. I always thought that it was this way. Oh, I'm going to try going this way again. No, I've been up here, haven't I? I think I'm barking up the wrong... What's it called, aren't I? Yeah, I'm definitely barking up the wrong... What's it called? Must be the other way. Take that. Right, all the way up here. Across here. Ah! Almost. Just gonna try and see if we can... Ah! So close. I can feel it. I can feel it. I know it's up there. It has to be there. It has to be there. It has to be there. I think that's just probably my favorite. If I have a frustration with the game, it's the jump. The jump is frustrating. Damn. Well, Spectrum keyboard's getting a bit of a beating here while I'm trying to push the button. The time stopped, by the way. It seems I've stopped the time by... No, that's not going to cross it, is it? So do I have to be running to get a longer... Yeah, I do. So I have to get a run-up at that one to get onto that one. Right, okay. So if we can get onto that one and do a run-up... So step on there. Right. Damn you! Get a run-up on this one. I got the jump too early there. Yep. Did it. Yes. Oh my god, are we up? Are we here? Are we made it? Oh, sugar. No! Not the right place. Definitely not the right place. Where the hell's the helicopter? feel like I've walked past it. If that makes sense. Leave me alone. Have I walked past it? Have I gone past it? Is it? No. Oh God, that nearly went badly. There's one in pink there. Do you see the one in pink? I've pushed the one in pink and it's gone a different colour. Don't know what I've done with that. Ah! Stood next to the dog too long. Oh, well, it was fun. I enjoyed that. Shame I didn't get to the helicopter. Was I close? Do you remember? Was I close? Was I close to the helicopter? I feel like I was close. I feel like I was on top of it, but I didn't quite make it. Right, let's go with Arachnoid now. Let's just do that. That's kind of sapped me, that one. That sapped me a little bit, that one. Just a wee bit. Just a bit of time there taken to do that. Okay. So, Arachnoid, an arcade conversion. I've told you there was already a DS version of it, which is interesting. Actually, it's not a bad version, the DS version. I quite like the DS version. That's well worth trying. I think it uses the stylus or your finger, whatever it is, to move across the screen. Do you not remember the first DS? When they did the first DS, the replacement, 2005 it was. So it's not that old as a machine. 2005. It actually came with a. I think do they still come with it? They used to come with a thing to wrap around your hand, so you didn't drop it and whatever else. It's sort of like a wrist sort of strap of some sort. But the original DS also came on that wrist strap. Had a thing that you could put your thumb in, and it acted as a sort of flat thing because it wasn't. Oh, that's not going well. A thumb thing you could put your thumb in, which then you could put onto the actual touchscreen element of him, run round and use and whatever else it is. And it worked really well, but then they sort of ditched it as it went along, and nobody seemed to use it because just everybody used the stylus. But it was actually quite a nice little feature. I remember quite enjoying that one, realistically. Give this another try, and then we're going to maybe go to the PlayZX on this one. Quite like that feature. It was good on Mario 64 DS, I think it was, which is the. But to be fair, I was never I'm not a massive Mario fan, and I've said this before. I'm not a massive Mario fan. The only thing I really liked about the Mario game on the DS was that after a certain point in the game, you kind of unlocked mini games. And then once you played the mini games, you got other games. So there were like mini Watchman style games. So there were things like pop the balloons and Mario falls to his death, that kind of thing. So they were very Watchman, Game and Watch type things. Watchman's completely different. That's Alan Moore's thing. But Game and Watch style games, very simple sort of not puzzle, but sort of arcadey type things. Quick play things. I rather enjoyed those. I thought they were really good. They were one of the things that I kind of got really into and quite enjoyed back in the day. But I didn't really get much further on the actual. Yeah, it's not going to go load. Didn't get much further on the actual the Mario 64. I'm not exactly excited by that whole thing, to be honest with you. I saw. Do you know what? There's a weird. It's weird at the moment, the retro market. I still think the bubble's going to burst on it. I think at some point it's going to burst because it's not like it's a millionaires game. We're not talking like massive masterpieces of art which can be speculated on because millionaires will always buy that kind of stuff because it has an inherent value. This isn't going to hold that value, I'm afraid. It really isn't, and I'm still waiting for the bubble to burst. Actually, to be fair, the prices aren't as bad as I thought they were recently. They have gone up, but they're not awful, if that makes sense. Arachnoid. We'll go with that one. Right, press the play. Press that button. Press done. Press play. Arachnoid. We'll get the Arachnoid on. Been a bit hit and miss that one. A couple have worked, some haven't. In fact, I think most of them haven't worked, have they? 1942 is the only one that loaded. The rest of them have not loaded at all. But we've got Egghead to try as well, because I'm quite looking forward to that. Becoming an egg, getting warmed up by my own infrared light. That'd be cool. So, there's a side there. My brain just flicked over. I looked at my mobile phone and it was flashing because something was going on. Anyway, yeah. I've not run out of things to say. I've just run out of things to say at this moment in time. That's unlike me, to be honest with you. My brain's kind of drifted off for a minor second. That all happens sometimes, doesn't it? But I've really enjoyed doing this one. I've enjoyed this episode. It's been a fun episode. As I say, I'd love to know where I'm missing on Saboteur though. I could have sworn I wasn't. I think that's what happens to me every time on the Spectrum version. This is why I always like the map on that one. And that was a good one to map, by the way, because it gave you a. That's a funny noise. And it seems to be on the tape that it's playing. Fine, no problem. Yeah, very weird. Oh wow. Okay. That was a very weird loader. Yeah, I think that's what happened with me last time around I played the Spectrum version. I think I got completely lost when it came to getting to the helicopter, because that's how you escape. There's always a helicopter on the roof. There's just some other way to escape as well. I think that was the thing about there was like multiple ways you could do things within that game. I mean, there's all those computers and that pink console are pushed there. And I remember that, as I say, the map was really useful. It's a great game to be mapped, if that makes sense. So you could have a little look at it and see where you were at and where you needed to be and where you were going to. So the mothership, this is about, isn't it? Because it's Arachnoid, something of dough, and I'm sure we're the little ship that comes. That's the mothership, I think, and we're kind of fired off to the mothership to protect the mothership from evil blocks that sit stationary in the sky, and you have to hit them with large metal balls that destroy them. Yeah, kind of weird, isn't it? But to be fair, they've developed Steve Jobs and can't remember what his first name is, Mr. Wozniak, which is the other sort of founder of Apple. Those gentlemen were responsible for the development of Breakout. They wrote it. If they didn't write it, it wasn't their game, but they were involved in the program of it. One of the sort of weird asides that are there. If you look it up, and you can see that they were involved with Breakout. I can't remember. I think they programmed it. I think they were involved with programming it for, I think, Atari actually. So it's kind of a weird one, realistically. They kind of, there's an Apple kind of attachment to this, a sort of an early Apple days thing to do with that kind of game that was created, but not this game, because this is obviously Taito. But that kind of thing was there, if that makes sense. It was involved in the whole thing. Ron F, Mike Lamb. There's quite a lot of games by Mike Lamb actually. They're quite this, and Mark Jones. Very very prolific, these fellas. I imagine. I always quite liked the Imagine brand though. And then they kind of went off the rails, didn't they? So it was a bit like Chris Curry and Sir Clive Sinclair, wasn't it? All the women and all the other things that went on with it. The sports cars and the money instantaneously. Yeah, one of those things. I'm looking forward to this one actually, though. Bit of bat and ball action. It's quite nice on some other formats as well, to be fair. It's quite nice on the Amstrad CPC. It's very nice because it looks really nice in the graphically. No Kempston joystick, right? It's the time of in the area and time of the story is unknown. After the mothership Arachnoid was destroyed, a craft, whatever else, has scrambled away from it. This is me scrambling away from it. Am I going to see me scrambling away? What's my keys? Alright, I've got my keys. That's very quick though. Why is it going so quickly on that side? It's weird, that. When you push the B key, it goes like really super fast. I don't need it to go super fast with the B key. One of the first games I ever played on the Spectrum was the one that came on Horizons tape, which was Through the Wall. I rather liked Through the Wall. The thing I like most about Through the Wall is you could break into the code, and it was a combination of... Oh god, I've got speed, I think. Combination of basic and some clever pokes and peeks that allowed it to do sort of be a little faster, if that makes sense. There we go. All little collectibles, double balls and things like that. Oh, sugar! I always do that with the balls. I never know which one to go for when I've got the whole thing. Let's get that up there, and it should kill those. Ah, sugar! Did all right actually. Doing better than I thought I was going to do on this. There's little aliens to try and avoid. Get concentration going on here. A little bit of concentration. What's that? Oh, I escaped out the bottom. Special bonus level bypasser. Very clever. Oh, I lost though because I managed to miss the ball when it came out because I went for the L for the laser. Quite like that though. Another go quickly. Quite enjoyed playing that. Oh, bums. Moved out of the way. There we go. Extended bat size. L for the laser. Not much left of it though. After that little blasting thing, was it? Oh, bums! Oh god, I missed that one. There's nothing going to pop out here either because I've messed it up. Oh, sugar! Don't move too far over here. There. That'll be about right. There we go. Go on, get the last one. Oh, you get... Yes! I've only got one life left, though, of course. Oh, no! Always the same multi-ball, and I managed to make a mess of it. That's quite... I'm having a lot of fun on this. I wasn't expecting myself to have so much fun, but it's quite enjoyable, really. I thought... Do you know, the funny thing is, what I remember about the Spectrum game is clearly what I don't remember about the Spectrum game, which is... I always thought it was faster than this. And it's not actually as fast as I thought it was. So I actually had a lot more fun there than I thought I was going to do. Right, anyway, let's move on to this anomaly of a game that I've never seen before, that appeared on the Silverbird range. I'm going to assume it was late in the day. I'm going to assume that it was late in the day. That's the reason why I've not seen it before. But might not have been. I kind of moved on from the Spectrum in about 1990, and I do feel bad because I'd moved on to PC by then, and sort of and also moved on to Sega Mega Drive and things like that. So kind of Spectrum was a second system. It wasn't one that I kind of played on that often anymore. Never really played with my friends on it anymore. So it's Q to jump, A to take, O and P, and space to fire. That sounds good. That works for me. I don't know what we fire, but we'll see. We throw bits of egg shell at them or something like that. That's maybe what we do. Just chuck some eggshell at them. But yeah, so I'd moved on by. I do. You know. Go back. You go back and you give yourself a bit of a shake and say, look, that thing's going to be really important in the future. Make sure you put it away nice and safely, and don't let your parents sell it at a car boot sale. So. Ham it, damn it. That's new. By Cross something or other. It's not quite the name that I was expecting on the thing, is it? Cross Technics. Ham it, damn it. There's something weird going on in that loader. Look at that. Hiya. My name is... Damn it. Alright, okay. Hammett. Damn it. Right, okay. I got you. Got you, that's your name. And I'm the... It's very slow, isn't it? Lead character in this... It's very clever, though, that they've got this word scrolling across stream. Game. So, Hammett Dammit, lead character in this game. Anyway. My problem is that I must... This is so slow, isn't it? Hatch. Okay, I've got that. It's got a hatch. I like the spectrum will set up along there, though, the joystick and all that on the side. And to do to do that, I need a lot of heat. You use a lot of heat. Right, okay. This is basically what I read you earlier, but someone have stolen, that's good English, someone have stolen my equipment. Someone have stolen my equipment. So now I can't hatch by any chance? Yes, hatch. Marvellous. Therefore, my God, how many words do we want to use? Therefore, and I beg. Therefore, I therefore beg you. I therefore beg you. You must help me. Okay. Okay, help me find my equipment. I wonder how they've managed to get that scroll, or whether it's just part of a little sort of program that goes along. So that, yeah, it's equipment, so that I can hatch. I wouldn't be surprised. Ham it, damn it. And get out of this shell. Alright, get out of this shell. Right, fair enough. Wow. Still talking, please. Oh my God, it crashed at the end. It crashed at the end. We can't crash at the end, not after all that. There's literally no tape left either. I can't believe that. After all that, we crashed. Try it again. We'll try it again. Try it again. That's just unbelievable. That's because I was taking the Mickey out of the way he was loading, I think. I don't even know if this will be on here. This will be an interesting game. See if it is on here. I'm gonna search for it, but it might not be on here on PlayZX, just in case. I've got the Jonathan Coldwell ones. Yeah, it was Crash 1989 was Jonathan Coldwell's game. Ooh, this is an interesting one. I wonder if it's under Hammett. Oh, it is. It's under Cross Techniques. Ham It Damn It. So it did actually. It did have an official original release as Ham It Damn It. So I've got that just in case. So we may need to load that one from PlayZX, but we have got that, so we can maybe do that. That's really interesting, isn't it? It's interesting what we find on these things. I'm not going to read his speech marks again along the way. Hi. No, I'm not reading it. Promise you, I'm not reading it. I've never even heard of this game. I wonder what it looked like. I'm half tempted to let's have a little look and see if we can find out what Ham It Damn It looked like on the cover. I'm going to do that while we're watching this load. Let's have a little look. See if we can find the cover for it, because that sounds really. Ham It Damn It. Let's have a little look. See if we can find the Ham It Damn It on World of Spectrum or Spectrum Computing. Oh, the only cover they've got. Only cover they've got is this one that we've got. It's from Sweden. It came from. Swedish gentleman. Original release from Cross Techniques, Sweden. Ham It Damn It. Is there a cover here? Because I'm wondering what the cover looked like. And featured in Load and Run issue 60. The only time it looks like it hit the original to anything is the Spectrum version of it. It's a re-release. The original release is in Sweden. I wonder if it's in Sweden somewhere. It's really weird, that. Alternate title by Silverberg, re-released in 1988. That's interesting. I don't. Doesn't feel like it was. Was this the only game they ever released? This Thomas game was the only game it looks like they ever released. So team of 3. Is this the only game they ever created? It looks like this Cross Techniques. This is the only game they ever created, and this is the only game they ever released by the looks of things. Isn't it weird? Especially as this, obviously, it looks like from the naming of the people as well that were there, that I think they were quite. No, I don't think. No, I'm completely lying here. I thought they were related. They're definitely not related. There's a Johansson and a Nielsen. Christoph Nielsen and Thomas Johansson. And Thomas himself. Thomas is obviously the lead. He's seen as the lead programmer on it. It literally, it doesn't look like. I can't find any other releases for it. None at all. Fairly comprehensive. I've just found a map for it. It's fairly comprehensive. And you've got to know the names of the teleporters to teleport various sections. Very, 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 very comprehensive indeed. Oh, it's a decent sized map. Very brightly coloured in places. Very nice. Oh, I hope it loads. After that, it's quite a long loader though. I hope it does load. I hope it loads nicely. I don't think it's 128k. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that in the instructions either. I don't think when you do it. Let's have a look. Put it in 48k mode and load it. That's fine. Oh, there we go. Perfect keys. Ham It Damn It. I'm looking forward to this. This is a game I've never seen before. I bet most of you haven't seen this either. If you had this back in the day, let me know. But I don't think any of us have known this. This is another egg-related person, but instead of conquering the world and calling it Dizzy, this gentleman is attempting to escape his shell-like existence and become a real boy. Anyway, come on, let's go for it. Yeah, I know. We've read that. I'm pressed 0 to play. I want to play. There we go. There's a wreck. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Oh, and he shoots. Oh, marvellous. It's got bullet power. Go in this cave. Oh, actually, it runs quite nicely. Oh, what's that? Is that my incubator? Transporter. It's called Crash, that destination. I don't know where the destination was on. Code not recognised. It's fine. So these are the transporters that you've got to be able to use. There's 14 of those, apparently, in the game. Oh, that's a super jump. Oh, you know what it has a feel of? It has a feel of Underworld. That's the game I'm thinking of. Underworld or Soul of the Robot. That kind of feel. Or Starquake. Yesod. The caves of Yesod or caverns of Yesod. Yeah, very much that feel. Oh, you got proper cracked as an egg. Little RIP there. He works. Actually, to be fair, he runs and he jumps quite nicely. It's a big area, by the way. It's a really big area. Let's have a look down here. See if I can find something that I need to help me incubate. That noise, by the way, was me trying to pick something up. Gonna go this way. Oh, I tell you what, one of those little aliens. Oh, look at that! Look at that area. That's what I was saying. There were some really brightly coloured areas. That looks like something out of Sacred Armour of Antrid. Those ones definitely look like creatures out of Sacred Armour of Antrid. I do like this area though. Doesn't that look nice? There's a little sort of guy hanging from the edge there, but that's a really nice looking area. Definitely Sacred Armour of Antrid. I like it. You definitely used to use the map. I'm not sure what we're looking for yet. We've got to find parts of our equipment to let us hatch. Okay, let's see if we can get up. That's being difficult to get up. Wow. And no shying away from... there we go. Oh, bullet power charged up. No shying away from colour either. Very nice to see. Oh, you can bounce on their heads. That's interesting. I didn't realise you could bounce on their heads. Just falling all the way. Oh, I'm dead! Into another bubbly area now. Oh, I kind of. Definitely a game I've not seen before. I wonder if anybody's ever seen the original. I bet the original's well rare. That's gonna be one of the more expensive games, I think, in the long run. Oh, you got power, so you don't actually die straight away from hitting them. That's actually alright. Didn't realise we had power, so we don't die straight away. Ah, the hammers are bad, though. Hammers are instant death. Which probably makes sense, because you're a shell or an egg, aren't you? 4% completed, that was tiny. Oh, I like that. Top name. There we go, got a name in the top position. Nico, Daniel. Pam. The best at the top. With a percentile as well, and score. That's pretty good, actually. That was not what I was expecting. Anyway, I've been your host, Real Genetic Demon. Thank you for watching, and thank you for sticking with me, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye now.